Greetings, and welcome to Shut Up and Game. My name is Opus, and this is my brand new minion. Unlike my last minion, this one can appreciate their place in the world and obey my every command. Isn't that right, minion? Are you going to be a good servant, or is Opus going to be forced to turn you into chocobo food like the last one? Excellent. Because break time is over.
So get back to work, or Opus will make a necklace out of your ears.
Last week, my former minion explained the demand shift patterns and how to take advantage of them. If you missed that video, you can find a link to it right here. This week, I will show you these principles in action. On day 1, we will begin collecting data on the market and record the supply and demand for each item. We cannot tell which items will be peaking beyond tomorrow, so this is an easy day. In my case, the silver ear cuffs seem to be peaking tomorrow. This is actually one of the most valuable items you can craft, so this is a great start. I will pair them with the earrings for an efficiency bonus. For day 2, let's take a look at the supply and demand and begin planning our week. Starting with day 3, we can see that shark oil will be peaking. During the previous season, I noticed that shark oil had a high predicted popularity, so I have already saved up enough materials for it. We need to find an item that shares a category with shark oil, preferably one that takes 4 hours to craft, and use it to trigger an efficiency bonus. There are a few options here, such as squid ink or culinary knife. Brush is another option. It has a very high popularity as well. If we take a look at items with a sufficient supply no demand shift, the items peaking on day 4 and 5 are revealed to us. A valuable item, Isleberry Jam, will be peaking on either of these days, which we will want to pair with squid ink. So, that is no longer an option for day 3. With the options that remain, brush is a best bet. That makes our agenda for day 3 completed. We also know that Isleberry Jam will be one of our future crafts, so I will have my minion focus on gathering materials for that. Before we continue, I want to point out this little bastard here. On day 1, it had an insufficient supply and a skyrocketing demand, so naturally I assumed it would be a strong peak on day 2. However, it actually was a weak peak instead. There are also some items that peak, but are just on the threshold of increasing in supply, so crafting even a single one of them will increase the supply and reduce your profits. This happens from time to time and is due to us not actually knowing the values at play behind the scenes. 9 times out of 10, our system works. If you pay attention to the supply pattern for an item, you can approximate how many crafts before it goes up in supply, but I won't go into that right now. Please remember to like and subscribe if you find this useful. On day 3, we almost have all of the data we need for the week. Checking on the items peaking tomorrow, we see that brush and garden scythe are amongst them. But they will be having a weak peak, and we already used brush for our agenda today. Day 4 is looking to be no good. Taking a look at items with a sufficient supply no demand shift, we can compare them with the previous day. If they were at a sufficient supply no demand shift, we know they will be peaking on day 5. In this instance, that leaves us with the Ileberry Jam and Squid Ink as our best options. Even if they have a weak peak, it will be more profitable than day 4 could be, so it becomes our second rest day. With day 5 sorted, now we can move on to day 6 and 7. We do this by setting our filters to sufficient supply, plummeting demand. If on the previous day these items had an insufficient supply, no demand, they will either be the strong peak for day 6 or peaking on day 7. We can see a few good items here, but we don't know yet what to go for. Garnet Rapier, Scale Fingers, Crook and Spruce Round Shield are all great ones. I might send my granary out to grab some garnet and spruce logs tonight just in case. And here we are, day 4, the final day of data collection. Checking tomorrow's peak, it seems Ileberry Jam will be weak and Squid Ink will be strong. Not the worst, I suppose. Certainly better than today would have been, since we used brush earlier and affected its supply level. Setting our filters to sufficient supply, skyrocketing demand, we find our day 6 strong peaks. It does not look very good, so let's swap to insufficient demand and look at our weak peaks for day 6. Here we see the bed is peaking and we have rope as well, 2 items that share a category. This will be our day 6, ropes and beds. Things just got kinky. Taking a look at day 7, we switch our filters to sufficient supply, increasing demand for the weak peak. Unfortunately, Garnet Rapier will be weak, but still a contender for our day 7 agenda. Swapping to no demand, we can find the strong peaks, and we find Crook and Scale Fingers. The Crook can combo with our Rapier, so that is the choice I make. Since they are both 8-hour crafts, we schedule the Crook first, so the second one can gain an efficiency bonus after the Rapier slot. I would like to take a moment and remind you of your ABCs. Always be checking shit. After every agenda you schedule, check your materials and make sure you will have enough. It is better to send your minion out to grab a few things in advance, and this can help you adjust your pastures and crops in time if need be. And so concludes this week. Overall, it was a pretty decent one. Just shy of 26,000. However, there is potential for it to be even better. Your success is partially up to the gods, but with these skills, you can begin to write your own fate. I hope that I was able to help you out. This is where I remind you to like the video and subscribe to my channel, but that is played out. At this point, you are all so numb to this request and it would accomplish little. So, instead,
Opus commands you to subscribe.